Why am I oh god, I don't know why I'm starting to cry now, but I think I'm just like really scared. Hi everyone, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. If you are new here, I'm going through One Piece for the very first time, and I'm currently on the Amazon Lily arc. I do have a playlist down in the description box with all of my One Piece videos, so do check that out, and you can get like up to speed on what I've been thinking of the series so far, because I do feel like I might need to talk a little bit about the end of Sabaody Archipelago and my reaction to the end of Sabaody Archipelago. Well, a couple of things actually. I didn't realise, I totally forgot to mention the fact that Rayleigh knew where the One Piece was and Luffy had to stop everyone from, you know, asking where it is. For some reason, like I remember thinking about it, but for some reason I didn't even mention in the video. It's like one of the biggest, most important things ever, because the answer is right there, and Luffy stopped everyone. He was like, no, don't do it, you'll ruin the adventure, you'll spoil it. And at least I don't think I mentioned it in the video. But yeah, he stops getting the answer for it right there and then. Yeah, that was an absolutely brilliant moment. It just really highlighted Luffy's purpose and the fact that yes, he does want to get the One Piece eventually, but he wants to get there himself with his crew. He wants them to go on the adventure, figure everything out for themselves, and I really respect and appreciate that. But also the biggest thing as well is that I didn't cry at the end of Sabaody Archipelago. So in a fight between Kuma and the Straw Hats lose, and that is something I mentioned. It is something that I said was amazing, and it made me rethink the whole strength level of the Straw Hats and made me realize, oh, Luffy can't win every battle. And yeah, that was totally shocking and it floored me. It was amazing. But I didn't think really about what Kuma actually did to the Straw Hats. I mean, I did mention very briefly that I just thought that Kuma had sent them off to Amazon Lily, which is the arc I'm reading in this vlog. My sweet summer child brain is like, oh, nothing like truly terrible has just happened, because, you know, there's actually a part of me that I didn't even mention that maybe Kuma is actually helping the Straw Hats. You know, that's kind of like a little bit of a theory, because he does ask Zoro before he sends them away, where do you want to go, kind of thing, you know? So in my brain, I thought, oh, you know, he sends Zoro off to Amazon Lily because Zoro might have thought, oh, he just wants a break or something. I don't know. Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but like at the time, that's what I was thinking. I was like, he sends Zoro away, and then in order to like save the Straw Hats, he touched all of them to send them off to the next place as well, so that they can get away from all of the chaos that was happening in Sabaody Archipelago. And that was my theory, but I didn't explain it that well in the video. Like I said, oh, I think he's just sent them off to Amazon Lily, but I didn't really go through the process of why I thought that. And then as I was uploading the video on YouTube, I love watching Amber Release and Murphy Napier. I love watching their blind reviews of One Piece, because I love seeing them in the same position like I'm in, because, you know, they forced me to read One Piece. So I love watching their blind reactions to each arc, so I watch their arcs, but apart from re-reviews, I do not want spoilers of things that are coming up, but like actual blind reviews, so like they have no idea what's coming either. But I was watching Murphy's, and she was crying, and I was like, shit, have I totally misinterpreted what's happened at the end of Sabaody Archipelago? And then I got like a lot of comments on the video when it went live that kind of like my reaction wasn't really the reaction they were expecting, which I totally get, because now I'm kind of bricking it, because I don't actually know what's happened to the Straw Hats. Are they even together anymore? I don't know. Like, that's the kind of like the assumption that I now have based on like all of the comments and like the kind of surprise that I didn't react the way I did. But honestly, I'm as innocent as Chopper. Seriously, like my positive thinking brain is like, oh, they're fine. They're fine. They're all together in the next place. That was my thought process, but I didn't explain it well enough in the last video, so I apologize for that. I need to remember to actually like go through everything and like really tell you guys what I'm thinking. Otherwise, if I say something, you guys probably won't even know what I'm talking about. So yes, I'm going to try and go into this video, which will probably be shorter because the Amazon Lily arc is quite short. It's only 11 chapters long, and it runs from chapters 514 through to 524. So there's not a whole lot. So hopefully that means I can just like really slow it down and really take it in. I felt with Sabaody Archipelago, there was a lot going on, there was a lot of chaos, and I didn't really take it all in, you know? So I'm gonna do Amazon Lily today. I'm really gonna slow myself down with it and hopefully convey my thoughts and feelings a lot better than I did in my previous video. I am going to put myself on a One Piece merch buying ban as well, but I have a heat changing mug. So I have Ace on that side and Luffy on that side, and it is a heat changing mug, so the fire appears when you put the coffee in or the tea or anything hot, and the sort of smoke around Luffy also appears. But it's my new favourite mug. I buy a new mug every week, but I'm putting myself on a ban. I'm just going to stop buying One Piece merch for a little while. I did get Ace's hat, actually. That's the last thing I bought. I'm going to try and limit how much I read of the comments as well, because a lot of people are telling me, stay away from comments. You're just going to get spoiled. So I do want to reply to as many comments as I can. I want to talk One Piece, but I kind of want to make sure that I don't spoil myself for what's to come as well. So I'm going to try and be really, really careful with future comments. But still, please do leave all the comments down below. I really want to read them. I really want to interact and talk One Piece. But that's kind of the plan. That is the plan. And I am going to just crack on. I've talked long enough. I did feel like I had to talk a little bit about the previous arc video. And hopefully this one will go a lot smoother. So if you do end up enjoying this video, don't forget to leave it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. I would love all of that. And I'm going to get myself away and read some Amazon Lily. And now I'm going to find out what actually happened at the end of Sabri Archipelago and where the Straw Hats are. So I've read the first chapter of Amazon Lily, and yeah, so I was totally wrong about the end of Sabri Archipelago and what Kuma did to the Straw Hats. So, I mean, I assume all of them have ended up like Luffy, where he was like flying through the sky and he ended up landing on an island of only women. There's a tribe of women there called the Kuja, and they live on this like kind of almost like a little garden-esque kind of place, as in it's like a sort of jungle setting, which I kind of got from the title a bit, like Amazon, the Amazon, things like that. They're all like, it's probably like a rainforest more than a jungle. But I haven't seen too much of Amazon Lily yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of it. This was hilarious. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like some of this was absolutely hilarious. The fact that they thought what was between Luffy's legs was a mushroom and they were trying to pull it off. I mean, just the way that slowly unfolded. Hang on, let me build up to that joke. So Luffy has landed on this island and there is this huge bear print, or like this huge bear paw print, and it reminds me of Kuma. So I'm wondering if when Kuma touches someone, they are sort of transported to a place where one of these giant paw prints are, almost like a portal. And maybe that's what happened to the other Straw Hats. They've just been sent all around the world, unless some of them are together. I don't know if all of them are totally scattered, but there might be other big paw prints scattered throughout the world, where if Kuma touches you, you get taken to one of those places. I don't know like the overall goal of that. I don't know why Kuma has done that, because I mean, again, like in the back of my mind, I think maybe Kuma is sort of on the Straw Hat side a little bit. I don't know. It was a bit like Okiji. I mean, there's a lot of greyness to the admirals. I cannot wait to find out what their true allegiances are, how they really think, because they don't seem so two-dimensional. They don't seem to be, in my mind, plain black and white on one side kind of thing. I'm wondering why. Why has Kuma sent Luffy to Amazon Lily? Why? There must be some kind of motive there, especially since it has helped him escape Sabri Archipelago. It helped all of them escape Sabri Archipelago. So I just, why? So seeing Luffy by himself for the very first time in like, I can't remember the last time Luffy was genuinely 100% by himself. Probably not since the start of the series. Seeing him by himself was actually quite heart-wrenching, because he was like on the floor and he'd be really hungry and he'd shout out for Sanji, and then he would say, oh, hang on, actually, Sanji's not here, I'm gonna have to make food myself. And you know, the fact that he has to keep like sort of reminding himself that he isn't with his friends, that he isn't with his crew, was a little bit heartbreaking. We got a little bit of a flashback to Luffy saying he can't save his crew, again, hit me in the feels. And Luffy being Luffy, obviously with Sanji not being there, he won't be able to tell him what mushrooms you can and can't eat. So Luffy eats a lot of mushrooms. He eats one that makes him laugh, one that makes him mad, and then he eats a body parasite mushroom, which makes mushrooms grow all around him. So when he's approached by these Kuja women, and they think he is a woman, they assume he is a woman because this is an island of women, and that he has eaten this mushroom, and they take him to the nearby village and they start pulling it off. And then, yeah, they come to, well, they're cleaning him down and they realize they've missed a mushroom. Oh, look at this, there's one mushroom left. We missed this one between her legs. And she's like tugging on it. She's like trying to pull it off. Oh my god. When Luffy wakes up, he's gonna be so confused. Yeah, how strange. It looks different from the others. I can't pull it off. It just stretches. I remember a question that Oda got in the SBS question corner sections of these volumes, and someone asked something like, does Luffy stretch everywhere? As in like everywhere. And I'm pretty sure Oda said yes. Or at least he tried to say yes without saying yes. And yeah, apparently that's what it's doing right now. It's just stretching. And that's when Grandma Nyan comes and says, listen to me, this person is a man. And they've actually never seen a man. I'm not sure of each of their names just yet. This one in the top corner here, I've never seen a man before. So I'm wondering if all of these women on Amazon Lily have ever seen a man before. Or maybe they have, but maybe that's the older generations and the younger generations haven't. Men are absolutely forbidden. If any man sets foot on this island, he forfeits his life. So Luffy's probably ended up in the worst place possible. But at the same time, I'm like, there must be a point though. There must be a reason why he has ended up on this island. I'm trying to put my finger on it, but I just can't. I genuinely didn't expect the amount of nudity that this arc has given me. After the arc we just had, we go from that to literally Luffy's crown jewels. I've got to hand it to Oda. He can really throw me through a loop. It seems like a lot of the women in Amazon Lily are rather clueless about men in general. And I wonder, like, how sheltered they have been from the world. Like, what do they actually know about the world? What's been going on? We do have Princess Empress Boa Hancock and her two sisters. They are pirates and they are coming back to the island. So I wonder, like, how much they actually tell all of these women. Like, how in the dark are they about the world and the world events and stuff like that. It'll be very interesting. I love how it closed off this island feels, but yet at the same time, at the start of this chapter, we saw so much about how the Amazon Lily women work and how they have this whole community. They sell things, they do things themselves, and it is like a proper thriving city, proper thriving town, you know, just like Sabri Archipelago was, just like Water 7 was, things like that. It's like, it's not too different from those, but yet it is so totally different at the same time. Luffy being in that cell, totally naked, his bits hanging out and everyone gawking at them, wondering what they are. Hey, I'm naked, you're dumb too. Like, Marguerite is so clueless. Why are those things down there? Things, don't you know what they are? You're weird, these are my family jewels. Jewels? Wow, you've got precious jewels, amazing. Having characters that are so unaware of something that seems so commonplace for the rest of us is hilarious. It's a bit like, you know, Hocus Pocus, you know, when we have those sisters from 1693 in today's world. It's a bit like that. I love things like that. Can you take them off so we can see them? Take them off, are you trying to kill me? Luffy's outfit as well is stunning. It's a great new outfit, I hope he keeps it. Luffy obviously does escape and they don't expect him to be able to stretch and to escape. So he ends up taking Marguerite with him. They land in the jungle. Luffy asks questions, Marguerite asks questions. So I kind of like their dynamic right now. I don't know if Marguerite is going to turn out to be a good ally to Luffy. It seems like she is very curious and she has been sheltered all her life apparently. So that'll be really interesting to see like how their dynamic will work and what Luffy can teach her. But at the same time, I'm a little bit scared because what Luffy does teach her, not that he's even interested in teaching her, like he's like, I don't have time to explain, need to find my crew, where's the Viva card, give me it now kind of thing. But through observations, I think Marguerite will make a lot of assumptions about men with Luffy as her sort of model, her role model as a man. And I'm like, it's not the best idea, there's going to be a lot of misconceptions about men. And I just find that hilarious. I'm really excited to meet Boa Hancock and her sisters as well. She's coming back to this island in a pirate ship and she seems to be the person who everyone looks to, kind of like the queen of this island almost. Especially since the Kuja women are trying desperately to find Luffy so that they can eliminate him because he's not allowed there. And it seems like they're kind of a bit scared of what the Boa Hancock and her sisters will do to them if they don't succeed in getting rid of this man. So does Boa Hancock rule with an iron fist? Or is it a lot more peaceful than that? I don't know. But a truly hilarious chapter. I'm going to try and not assume that the entire arc is going to be like that. I kind of did that with Sabri Archipelago and I was like, oh, this is going to be so nice and chill. And then obviously by the end of it, it wasn't. So I'm going to keep a very open mind. She kicked a kitten. Are you kidding me? She's evil. She is evil. I'm glad Ash and Tobu aren't in this room with me right now. Because if they had seen that, oh, I wouldn't have been able to have shielded their eyes. Boa Hancock, she is so interesting. And it's funny as well because there was actually a museum called the Hancock Museum not far from where I live. Okay, there was a lot to take in with this interaction between Vice Admiral Momonga and Princess Boa Hancock, who turns out to be one of the 7 warlords of the sea. Honestly, the entitlement of her, like she wants to keep the title of Warlord of the Sea, but she doesn't want to do any of the work. And I have to respect that. I do. I have to respect that. She knows that she's beautiful. She hates the world government, so she doesn't want to do what they say, but she likes the title. Despite kicking a kitten, I have to respect the balls on that woman. I wonder if the general theme of Amazon Lily is that you don't actually have to have physical family jewels to have balls. You know? I wonder if that's the theme. And the only reason, okay, I'm getting really terrified. I say this in every single video because we're getting closer and closer. Ever since the end of Thriller Bark, I've been like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But I am genuinely shitting myself because in the newspaper, there is an announcement that the public execution of Ace is set in stone. It's like the die has been cast in something that I feel every now and then in the arcs since, well, probably Ennius Lobby, there has been some kind of foreboding presence in the art style. I can't describe it, I can't explain it, but every now and then there will just be some kind of illustration or a narration that is so cryptic that I can't help but think, wow, the tides have changed. We are not reading the same story we read when we started with East Blue, you know what I mean? It's really sinister and it's creeping me out. It really is. Apparently the execution is 1 week from today, from whenever this chapter is set. 1 week. 1 week. Public execution of Ace in Marineford. I am terrified. Terrified because the crew are scattered. Where the fuck are the crew? I have no idea where any of them are right now. It's really dawning on me how Sabadi Archipelago has affected everything. It's like really, really dawning on me. It's like, it's been a slow realization. I have less IQ than Luffy, let's be honest. I'm dumber than Luffy, I'm dumber than Zoro, I'm dumber than every single... If I was a Straw Hat, I would be the dumbest crew member. But you can forgive me because I'm so cute. There is a mandatory summons that all the warlords will attend this execution. So that is the whole reason why Momonga is 2 miles outside of Amazon Lily, because there is like this treaty thing, this rule that they're not allowed to go within 2 miles of this island, which happens to be in the Calm Belt as well, by the way. So it's interesting that they have these rules set in place. We got to see Boa Hancock's powers as well. And I'm so glad that Sanji isn't the one who is on this island, because if he was ever in Boa Hancock's presence, he's a goner. He is definitely a goner. So she is able to activate the lust in people's hearts because she is so beautiful, and she's able to turn them into stone. And the reason why Momonga wasn't turned to stone was because he inflicted pain on himself. So that is really interesting. I do feel like Luffy could be in danger though, because, I mean, she is really beautiful. I mean, she'd be barking up the wrong tree if she was in my presence. But I can still appreciate her beauty. And I feel like maybe that's the case with Luffy as well. Maybe. I don't know. He's never really shown any kind of lust, I don't think, ever. Or any kind of, like, romance. Thinking back on it now, I don't think he has. So maybe he's fine. But honestly, if Sanji was there, he'd be fucked. He really would. But the absolute gall, the absolute tenacity of Boa Hancock. 1, kicking a kitten, which I'll never forgive her for. But 2, wanting to keep the title of Warlord, but not do the work. Luffy at the start of this as well, he is just trying so hard to get back to his crew. He makes a raft, which is obviously not good. It's a bad raft. But then he's like, oh, I wish Frankie was here. It really does show you, with them being separated, how each of them have been so detrimental to the entire crew. You know, Luffy's by himself. 1, he wished Sanji was there so that he could help cook. 2, Frankie, because then he could have built a better raft so that he could have escaped. And Luffy is, I feel like, well, you know, he always knows this. He's always been someone who has appreciated his crew, in my opinion. But you can really see, as a reader, just how much Luffy needs his crew. He already knows this, but as a reader, it's eye-opening in a way. Like, they really do need each other. It's something that I think Long Ring Long Land was the first arc to really delve into that. And I still don't love Long Ring Long Land, but I can really appreciate it now more for what it did with splitting the crew and like kind of taking crew members away temporarily, but to see what it was like and to see how much they would fight for one another. Like there was that, and then Water 7 with Robin going away, and Usopp, all of these things that have built up to this moment, to the end of Sabari Archipelago, losing crewmates and bringing them back has been like, okay, like, we see the importance of each straw hat, every single one of them. They each have a role to play, and now they're scattered to the wind. And it's really sinking in now, because I genuinely thought they were going to be all together on Amazon Lily, but they're not. It's really sinking in now how much Luffy needs them. And how much they probably need each other. Like, where are they? Like, are they all on different islands? Do they need help? They will probably need help. They will need each other. But yet, they're not together. Anyway, sorry. It was a great chapter. A lot to take in, and it's making me reconsider so much. Like, from that final chapter of Sabri Archipelago to now, I'm really taking things in. And things are dawning on me, things that I'm scared for. Essentially, things that I'm scared for. I've seen Luffy fail. I'm at that point now where I cannot, and I don't think Luffy himself will allow himself to fail again. But we have this dark cloud. I can feel it. This dark cloud is coming. And for the first time ever, I don't have complete faith that Luffy will be able to be there and to save the day. But that is honestly the scariest thought. I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm like, everything's gonna be fine. It's One Piece. But I feel like Oda's done such a good job at making me doubt Luffy. And I don't want to doubt Luffy. I love Luffy. He's my best character. He's my favourite. But there has been a but planted in my head since the end of Sabri Archipelago. I need to shut up and continue reading because, oh, my mind, I'm getting so... I am worried. I am worried. Yeah, Boa Hancock is a bitch. Those poor kids, they made her out of mud, and, I mean, it didn't look great. It didn't look great. But still, it was the thought that counts. And yeah, Boa Hancock smashes it up and just like, it's terrible, get rid of it, and tidy the floors while you're at it. But it was good to see how Boa Hancock rules. And yeah, she seems to be not the best leader. She seems to be a little tyrannical. And especially since the grandma from earlier as well, she is a previous empress of Amazon Lily. But I think she was disgraced a little bit when she left for a while and came back. I'm not 100% sure of the story there, but it does seem like she wants Boa Hancock to join the war, to join the fight, because this treaty has been in place. It protects Amazon Lily, and if she doesn't do it, then she is interfering with that, and she is risking the lives of everyone on Amazon Lily. So there is actually a lot at stake here, because also if she does lose the title of Warlord, then yeah, a lot of the protection and stuff fails, and it does seem like Boa Hancock only cares for herself. She does try and make that whole, oh, I'm too scared to go kind of thing, but that doesn't wash with me. Especially since, actually, we got a lot of lore behind her and her sisters. The fact that they killed a Gorgon monster and they've been cursed and they have these eyes on their backs, which is so gross, but also so fascinating because I love anything to do with like Gorgons or like, say, Medusa type characters. And that's kind of what Boa Hancock is like. She's kind of a bit of a Medusa kind of character. But I also love that kind of loophole where you would have to have lust in your heart to be turned to stone. However, I'm a little bit unclear of what the power on the backs of these sisters are, because they do have these eyes on them, and if anybody is around them when these eyes are kind of revealed, then everyone turns to stone. So I guess you don't need to have lust in your heart or anything like that to be turned to stone. Everyone evacuates the castle while Boa Hancock has a bath, and Luffy, being Luffy, is like, I need to get this pirate ship. I need to talk to somebody high up. If there's somebody who's high up here, they will be in the tallest building, right? And so he ends up crashing through the roof accidentally, and lands in the bath with Boa Hancock. But he looks at the eyes at the end. He seems to have seen the eyes, and he's like, that thing on your back, I think I've seen it before. And he's not turned to stone. And also, where has he seen it before? Have I seen it before? I don't think I have. I'm doubting myself. Like, has this come up before? The eyes on the back? I'm trying to remember now. I don't know if I have. Interesting stuff, but I've been wrong before. I've been wrong lots of times. It's getting so dark as well because it looks like it's going to pour down with rain. So there are a lot of rain clouds right now. I feel like I mentioned this in every One Piece video. I live in the UK. It's a given. I'm now interested to see what Boa Hancock will do to her people, to the warrior women on this island, because they neglected to tell her that there was a man on the island. When she asks, did anything happen? They say no. So, well, they say that a monkey escaped or something. There was a monkey in the jungle and a lot of the warrior women have went after them. And now that she knows there's a man there, I'm kind of scared for her own people. Like, what's she actually going to do to them? She's going to punish them, right? And what's she going to do to Luffy as well? Like, that's the thing. Again, more to take in. We have that conversation between Boa Hancock and Luffy. It was interesting to note that Boa Hancock's powers on Luffy didn't do a thing. There was no lust in Luffy's heart to kind of turn him to stone or to affect him whatsoever. And again, later on as well, he's like in this sort of Colosseum thing, and she tries her powers on him, and he resists. He keeps resisting. And I genuinely feel like it's because with Luffy, I don't think he is interested in romance at all. Or like, I don't know, like I don't want to enforce like any labels on Luffy or anything, but it just feels like his love is for adventure. His love is for being a pirate. His love is for his friends. That's where his love and passion is, not in romance, you know? The more I think about it, the more I just think, I don't see Luffy in a relationship. Like, I don't see him having a romance with anyone. It's just, I don't think it's the Luffy way. So, I mean, I could enforce so much more onto that, but I'm not gonna. I genuinely just think Luffy's just not interested in romance. So that's kind of really helped Luffy. But again, if this was Sanji, he would have been fucked. He would have fallen into that bath and died. Like, he would have just died in general. Boa Hancock wouldn't have had to have done anything. The fact that he would have been in a bath with a woman as beautiful as Boa Hancock, he would have just passed out and just died right there and then. But no, Luffy's totally different. We see more of Boa Hancock's tyranny and how scary she can be. I feel so bad for Marguerite and the other two women who helped Luffy when he first arrived, because Marguerite stands up for him, which was so amazing. But now I genuinely don't know if Boa Hancock's powers can be reversed, because I don't think Medusa's powers can be reversed, like the curse of the Gorgon. The more I think about it, the more I think it's something that is irreversible. And again, it could be different in One Piece, but I have this feeling in my heart that that's the end of Marguerite and the two people who helped Luffy at the start, and that's so sad. I am willing to be proven wrong, especially since I thought Hachi actually died in Sabari Archipelago when he got shot, but he didn't. So it could be a case of this again where I thought, oh, maybe they died, but as usual, it's kind of reversed in a way, so maybe that isn't the end of Marguerite and her friends, or whoever the other two people are. I don't think we've had enough of a chance to really get to know them that much. Everything has been a little bit fast-paced, which is great. We have Luffy with this determination that I'm going to get off this island, I need to find my crew, so the plot has constantly been moving forward. We haven't slowed down enough to see more of the characters or the outside characters or like learn too much about them other than Boa Hancock. So that's interesting. But it's also really cool to say that, yeah, Boa Hancock has had a devil fruit. She doesn't just have this curse. She's also had a devil fruit, and her sisters have too. So at the end of this chapter, her sisters start turning into snakes. And that is kind of terrifying because I do have a fear of snakes too. I have a fear of everything, okay? That'd be a really shit Straw Hat. And now it's going to be Luffy versus Boa Hancock's sisters. Their designs are really weird though. Like, they are quite massive, whereas Boa Hancock is so like petite. And then her, I think her name's Sandersonia. She genuinely looks like a snake just all the time. She has that tongue. The other one, Marigold, she looks like a Viking. And it's just amazing like how these sisters can look just so different. I haven't given Oda enough credit in this arc yet of his imaginative designs, but I really do love the look of Sandersonia just in general. Like, she looks a little bit stretched out, but like she looks like a snake, obviously. Okay, I have no idea what just happened with Luffy, but I am speechless. Okay, there has been mention of haki. I'm too scared to look up a pronunciation. I'm not getting spoilers at this point. Hockey sounds like hockey is in the sport. Haki sounds like giving someone a hacky. I don't know if that's just a British thing. If you give someone a hacky, it means you're pulling a face at them. So which one is it? Is it pulling a face at someone, or is it the sports game? Like, how do I pronounce this? I want to say hacky. I'm just going to say hacky. Okay, so what is like some kind of supreme king of hacky? Like, again, I don't really fully understand what it is, but it seems like some kind of energy that you can't really see, that can stop people in their tracks, or like, it seems like the sisters can use it as well, because even Luffy's like, wait, they know my moves, so like they can kind of predict Luffy's moves, and like this has happened before. But again, like, nothing's been spelled out just yet, which is great, because I do want to come to my own conclusions. I do want to figure this out on my own. But yeah, when Luffy says stop it, and it just seems like everything just stops. He's like used some kind of power that's not a devil fruit power, but like totally different. And yeah, the warriors are passing out. That haki just now was that of the Supreme King. That's the haki of the Chosen Ones. Only 1 in millions has that spirit. 1 in millions? That man is a natural born king. He's like me, the Supreme King haki. What does that mean? What, so Luffy's like the Supreme King haki person? What? From now on, I won't hold back. Okay, it'll be great to see how Luffy... Because, yeah, for some reason, during this entire fight, even though he's made of rubber, like, he's being hurt. And that seems to only happen when somebody is using haki. My mind is expanding at a rate that I'm kind of uncomfortable with. I'm learning so much. I'm learning so much about all of the various things of this world. Not all of it's making sense just yet, but the pieces are slowly fitting together. And I'm sure when I see more of this fight that's coming, I will understand it more too. God, I'm so hungry, but I'm not eating until I finish this arc. Luffy did make a great point as well about Marguerite and the other two being turned to stone. And he says, oh, Okichi did this where he, you know, froze Robin and him, and they were fine after a while. Like, they thawed out. So he's hoping that the same kind of thing happens to Marguerite and the other two. I mean, I don't know if that's the case. Also, question... which is a rhetorical question, of course. I'll probably find out in the next chapter. But did the sisters actually defeat a Gorgon monster? Or did they just eat devil fruit? Because when we did get the story about them defeating the Gorgon monster, it was because one of the Amazon Lily warrior women said the story to a young girl. And maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just a story. Maybe Boa Hancock made the whole thing up, which I wouldn't put past her at this point. Doubt was placed in my mind... when, the chapter of this is called Natural Born King. I'm not going to read chapter names from now on. I'm going to try and skip past it. I feel like that's probably going to have to happen with the cover stories as well. Oh, but no, I will continue reading the cover stories. But I'm going to try and not look at the chapter names because I feel like maybe sometimes they can be a spoiler. Like, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. Anyway, sorry, yeah. They are shouting, the warrior women in the stands are shouting, what a glorious sight, there's the proof that they defeated the Gorgon. They're beautiful even in their accursed form. And Luffy's like, cursed? What are they talking about? Those are just devil fruit powers. So yeah, like, they're turned into snakes because... they ate, like, the snake fruit. Marigold has the King Cobra model, and Sandersonia has the Anaconda model. So did they actually defeat a But then what? How do you explain what's on their back? But then Luffy didn't turn into stone, which apparently everyone's supposed to turn into stone. But I did have that theory that Luffy's just not romantically interested in anyone. So, like... what? I know I'm going to learn about this in 2 seconds, but, like, what? I genuinely thought 11 chapters, easy. Easy arc to get through. I'm not going to have to think too hard. I should always just shut my mouth. That chapter felt like 2 seconds had passed when I read it. A lot of fighting, but like the end of it as well. Like now I am thinking there is something definitely fishy about the story with the Gorgon stuff. And, oh my gosh, like, Luffy, like, I loved his decision in this, because even though they were, like, trying so hard to kill him, and they probably could have done, no, they wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have done it, but, like, they were trying to kill him. But Luffy, even though that they were trying to do that, you know, he does his gear too, which is incredible. I love it when he does that, but it's also kind of scary as well, because I genuinely don't think that's healthy for his body. And then he ends up, you know, using his devil fruit powers. He uses all of his arsenal, and he gets them tied up in a bind, and they're about to fall over onto the spikes, and Luffy is on one of their backs, and he is covering their back because he remembers, oh, you said you would rather die than have your back exposed. And with this whole coliseum of people watching, that's exactly what would have happened. And Luffy says, I'm not trying to kill you even though you're trying to kill me. And he's covering their back. And like, it's a little bit touching, not gonna lie. Like, I'm so touched by what he does. It's just so wholesome. It's wholesome despite this, you know, battle between them with everyone watching. Boa Hancock, she is telling everyone to evacuate. And then at the end, it seems like she's like crying. For some reason, there's a part of me that's like, maybe they won't turn to stone. They just don't want people to see what's on their back. So that flashback story that the woman told the young girl, it might not be true. it might not be true. I think there's something else afoot. I did think it was a really good fight though. I enjoyed that. But honestly, because it was more of a fight in this chapter, it went by like that. Oh, just look at him. Just look at him. I know you want to kill me, but I don't want to kill you. Oh, he's just the absolute best. Don't get me wrong, I'm missing my straw hats, but it's kind of nice as well to see Luffy. I mean, he usually is the last one to like take someone down and stuff like that. He does get a lot of attention, but it's also quite nice to see him on his own, still doing the things that he would have done with his friends there. I don't know how to explain that, but like he is still Luffy. Like he's still holding the morals of the Straw Hats strong in his heart. It's like the Straw Hats aren't there, but they kind of are in Luffy. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that, but that's how I feel right now. They're not there, but they are here, you know? Oh, I love Luffy so much. And you know what, actually, I do think I like Boa Hancock now. Even though she kicked a kitten, I still won't forgive her for that. It took me a lot longer to read this chapter than the previous one. It really does show you the difference between like an action-packed, battle-filled chapter compared to one where there is a lot of talking. And this was one of those chapters where there was a lot of talking, a lot of backstory on Boa Hancock, and learning more about her past and her sisters and just how like heartbreaking it is, but also how much it ties into the Sabaody Archipelago arc, why she doesn't want to be part of the world government, why she doesn't want people to see her back, things like that. Oh my god, it was so good. So many ties to Hachi as well, and the mark of slavery. Oh my gosh, just brilliant. Honestly, the way it just connected, and like this could have been the most random of arcs, you know, but no, like, it never is it? It never is. Again, why I love Luffy so much is the decision that Boa Hancock makes. You know, so once Luffy has fought the sisters and won, Luffy asks, can you turn Marguerite and the other two back to normal? And she says, yes, I can easily turn them back, but you said you wanted to go somewhere by ship. I will only grant you one request. You may either ask me to restore them or allow you to leave the island. You must choose one and give up the other. And she's kind of like, now we're going to see what you're really like, you pathetic man. But then literally the next panel is Luffy on his hands and knees, so happy, and he's like, okay, thanks, go ahead and turn them back. He's so appreciative of the opportunity, but like, he knows that he needs to help the people who helped him, you know? Like, no question whatsoever, even though at that point in time, he could have just gone on his merry way on the ship to find his crew, but no. He chose to save them. And that is just, like, he's only just met them, but because they showed him kindness, he's shown them kindness back, you know? It's, one of the biggest messages of One Piece, I think, is just, like, how much you can affect strangers by showing them kindness a lot of the times, and, like, how much they can affect you. This arc has just like shown me just like how great that is. So Luffy goes to the castle with them, and there's a lot of honesty and a lot of story told here. So Luffy has been taken to the castle so that he can get more of an explanation on things, and he looks at the mark again on Boa Hancock's back, and it reminds him of the sun that's on Hachi's forehead, but it's not the same mark. But Boa Hancock explains that it's the mark of the slaves when they were on Sabaody Archipelago, and her sisters were marked as slaves. They were slaves to the celestial dragons, the world nobles, but somebody called Fisher Tiger, who apparently has been long dead, saved them, and saved a whole lot of people, a whole lot of slaves from Sabaody Archipelago. I know you guys already know all of this, but I'm trying to wrap my head around it and make sure that I remember this. Tiger unleashed a horde of fishermen upon the oceans, but they would wear the mark of slavery forever. Tiger was hunted by the world government, so he gathered the fugitives together and formed the Pirates of the Sun. And in order to erase the trace of bondage, the former slaves turned the mark of the celestial dragons into a symbol of the sun. So that explains it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that Hachi was a slave. It just means that he belonged to the Pirates of the Sun at one point. And again, it does show you how the pirates, who are condemned by the world government pretty much, are better people than the actual world government. And I did feel so much for Boa Hancock, not wanting to ever be controlled again, afraid of being vulnerable again, and that's kind of why she sort of ruled with an iron fist, why she is the way she is. And I totally sympathize, I totally get it. I don't think it's like the best kind of story we've been told about a character, like backstory wise, but I feel like it really works in this arc, and especially how it connects with Sabaody Archipelago, the previous arc. It's just all fitting together. I really do enjoy how that's happened. When Luffy says he hates the celestial when Luffy says he hates the celestial dragons, Boa Hancock says, haha, I like you. Where do you want to go? I'll lend you my ship. It's a happy ending on this chapter. It is. It is. Oh, that's just so sweet. That's so sweet of her, honestly. I'm converted. I do really like her now. Oh, I just want to scream. I really do. Oh my god, my heart. Okay, right, it's really kicking off now, I think. Like, okay, so I said in the previous arc video as well that I was confused why Luffy wouldn't just go straight to his brother. I also keep forgetting that I'm privy to knowledge that the Straw Hats don't know. So I knew that Ace was going to get executed, but Luffy didn't. But in this chapter, he found out, and oh my god, my heart. My heart. Whew. I mean, firstly, the fact that he has to choose between reaching Sabri Archipelago and hopefully finding his crew, and the decision to go straight for Ace. Oh my gosh, this panel right here, I'm sorry you guys, there's something I gotta do. And all of them are standing there, and it's kind of like they're not actually there, but they're like cheering him on. And it's like, oh my god, like I'm getting emotional because I don't... Why am I oh god, I don't know why I'm starting to cry now, but I think I'm just like really scared. It's like, I feel like Luffy would have a better chance of saving Ace if he's with his friends. And now I'm worried because I don't know, because he's not... Where are they? Where are they? And it's just like seeing them. I haven't seen them in so long. It feels like it's been ages since I've seen them. And they're standing there and they're like, they're fine. Well, it seems like they're fine. In Luffy's had to make this like really awful decision between going straight for Ace or going to Sabri Archipelago. They're like, Luffy, you've got this. You've got this. Go to Ace. We're going to be fine, you know? Oh, and it's making me so emotional. Oh. But yeah, I apologise in the last arc video. The last arc video was a mess. Let's just agree it was a mess. I cannot wait to reread One Piece so that I can reread that arc and like totally get it this time. But I'm really seeing the gravity of everything. Like the gravity is like crushing me. It's really crushing me. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was actually talking about. Luffy has found out about Ace. He's going to be publicly executed. And yeah, it's going to take like what, 4 days to get to Impel Down on a Navy battleship, or 7 days, I think it was, on just a regular pirate ship, because there are different routes that you have to take. There is a secret current or a sea current that will be able to use the Navy battleship for. But the only way to do that is if Boa Hancock agrees to go for the summons, or like accept the summons and go with them. And she's agreed to it, so I'm so thankful for that she's agreed to it. But at the end of this chapter as well, she had come down with an illness that was fatal, but apparently it's love sickness or something, which is a little bit odd. I'm not going to lie, it's a bit odd. It is what it is. I mean, I needed her to agree to this, so I'm glad there was more incentive for her to do that. But honestly, guys, I miss Nami, I miss Robin, I miss Sanji, I miss Zoro, I miss Chopper, I miss Usopp, I miss Frankie, I miss Brook. I miss them so much. Oh, this panel, I can't stop thinking about it. I miss them so much, and I totally understand Luffy's dilemma right now, choosing between them. I can understand it, but I can understand his decision to go straight to Ace. I don't even want to talk about what I found funny in this chapter. I mean, for one, the fact that Luffy is with all of these women and they're still like clueless about men in general, and they're charging for people to touch and prod and poke at Luffy. He's like, what? You're charging them for it? Like, that's hilarious, but I don't feel in the mood to laugh right now, even though I'm kind of smiling. Stop. Stop smiling. This is serious. I will go wherever you wish. Boa Hancock, I fucking love you now. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Oh, I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. Oh. Okay, I finished volume 53. I am now on volume 54. I think I've only got like 2 chapters left of Amazon Lily. Oh my god, please tell me where the Straw Hats are. And please tell me they're okay. Oh my god, so many conflicting emotions, man. Firstly, didn't I say like if Sanji had ended up on Amazon Lily, he'd be dead in like 2 seconds? I'm glad we are figuring out, or finding out, where each of the Straw Hats have landed. Sanji is on a second island of women, but they're not exactly the kind of women that Sanji's into. So he's running for his life. That's hilarious. Absolutely love the fact that Frankie is on a snow island and he's teaching them a dance. Like, they just find him, some random people find him, and he's just like dancing with them and stuff, and that's hilarious. And then randomly it's still called Where Am I? So he asks the question after doing a little bit of a dance break, you know? Nami is on a sky island as well, which is kind of scary. And then, oh, Ace. Oh my gosh. Whew, whew, whew. Well, Garp has visited Ace Can Garp do something? Garp is Ace's grandfather, so surely he can do something, right? And he's right there. Are you still alive, Ace? And then he's like, old man. But look at Ace, look at him. He's seems all bloody and bruised and he's all tied up. I hate seeing him like this. This is awful. The Grey Prison impaled down. The Marines are talking about how the Whitebeard pirates have been surrounded, but there have been like no communication with them and stuff, and it's been very suspicious activity among pirates of the New World as well. So it's like, what's happening in this outside world? What's going on? There's also, interestingly, a warlord called Jimby, who has actually been imprisoned. He hasn't calmed down. He says he doesn't care if you strip the title of warlord from him. He's causing a ruckus. Is it because of Ace? Like, is he causing a ruckus because he doesn't want Ace to get killed? Have we met Jimby before? Jimby? I don't think we have. The name doesn't quite ring a bell. Anyway, I'm so glad Luffy's on his way. Him and Boa Hancock have gotten onto that Navy battleship and are on their way. Luffy's hidden in the kind of snake thing that Boa Hancock has. And the fact that Boa Hancock can only do what Luffy says because she's in love with him. She's in love with him, and that's like the cure for the love sickness, which is so sweet, really. But also, again, just maybe a slightly odd, slightly weird, but that's fine. That's fine. This arc has been really good, by the way, guys. I only have one more chapter left to go. But, I mean, I guess overall, it hasn't been as exciting as other ones, but as part of this whole narrative of what we're working up to, what come before, I feel like it's been such a good journey. It's been such a good sort of way of moving forward. I've got no complaints of this arc, really. I have no complaints. I don't even know how I'm going to end up rating this. At this point, I just want to give every single One Piece arc a 10 out of 10. Just because I love it. I love it so much. But I don't think I will give it. But we'll see how the last chapter goes. I'm not going to lie, I didn't want this arc to end because that would mean I'd have to confront things that are happening in the outside world. So much is happening at the end here. So much that I can't comprehend. And I'm terrified. I'm terrified of it. I've mentioned this many, many times. But it's like I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to get everything to stop and nothing is stopping. Nothing is slowing down. And I need things to stop. My heart can't take it. My heart cannot take what's happening right now. Oh, anyway, starting off with this chapter, I absolutely love seeing more of the Straw Hats and seeing where they ended up. Brooke landing on an island where there is like this kind of cult and they think he's like a devil and they are sacrificing things or like giving him sacrifices, and Brooke's like confused. He wants to get back to his crew, and then there is a sacrifice in front of him and the cult people are like, is our offering inadequate? Do you want to sacrifice blood? And then he looks at the woman, he's like, excuse me, may I see your panties? And then you hear in the background, panties, hurry up and show me your panties. It's like, there are some dumb characters in One Piece, okay? And there are characters that scare the absolute crap out of me. But it was so nice to have that moment. But having that moment where we got Brooke's humour after all of this time. You know what? I haven't known Brooke that long at all. At all. But I missed his humour. I really did. I mean, obviously asking the women he meets to show him his panties, obviously that's not a good thing. He is harmless. He is harmless. Usopp has met someone called Heracles. He's on this weird island where he almost gets eaten by a man-eating plant. So I thought at least maybe two of the Straw Hats would end up together, but that's not the case at all. They have literally all been scattered to the wind. Robin has been made a slave and she's helping build a bridge somewhere in the East Blue. Oh my god, she's like so far back. But in the South Blue, Chopper is on this island where some refer to the place as a treasure island. Here in Birdie Kingdom, birds rule over people. Zoro has ended up where Perona went, because I was wondering where Perona got to. You know, after she got blasted away by Kuma, I was wondering where she ended up. And she's ended up in a great place, actually, Gloom Island. It looks just like Thriller Bark, in a way, although Perona's not happy. But Zoro ends up dropping in, and she is like, oh, he's one of the Straw Hats. But it seems like she's helping him recover. It seems like she's helping in a way, but I don't know the full thing there. But yeah, every single place where people have been sent to, there is like a paw print, which is what I assumed when Luffy got sent to Amazon Lily and there was that big paw print. So Kuma must have loads of different paw prints everywhere. That's a great transportation system, actually. That's actually not bad. You can blast anyone you want anywhere in the world, especially since Nami's in a sky island. Like, I mean, I don't know where all of his paw prints are, but I wonder why Zoro went to where Perona was, because yeah, Kuma asked, if you were to take a trip, where would you want to go? Like, why would Zoro pick there? I loved seeing Boa Hancock as well helping Luffy, especially since he's a stowaway. And the fact that Luffy eats so much and she's like trying to cover that. But like, she is so in love with Luffy. Like, it's actually kind of sweet. Although she, in the previous chapter, kicked a baby seal. And I'm like, have you learned nothing? Have you not grown? Oh, but I'm so scared. I'm so scared. All the forces of justice were beginning to gather at Navy headquarters. Oh, but in Marijoa, the Seven Warlords of the Sea were informed of the order for battle, and they're all just like sitting around. And then Moria's there as well. Gecko Moria's there, so he seems fine. And just like pretty much everyone else as well. Fucking Blackbeard, I hate his... And Garp is still visiting Ace. And Garp says, kill you, don't be rash, you fool. There's nothing you can do now. Whitebeard won't stop if you die. Nothing can prevent this war now. And when Garp says that, I mean, it doesn't show you the conversation from before that. So did Ace ask Garp to kill him? That's so sad. That's so sad. Because, yeah, Garp frames it as a question. Kill you? Don't be rash, you fool. So Ace must have asked to die. Oh. He must have asked his own granddad to take his life. Oh, poor Ace. Whitebeard won't stop if you die. I won't stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. There's still hope in my heart that everything's going to be fine. We've angered the King of the Sea. Oh, God. I'm not ready. Okay, I don't think there's anything else to say about this chapter. Other than, I'm sad we're leaving Amazon early because now we're going to Impel Down. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think, but that is the Amazon Lily arc done. And I did enjoy it. I liked it. It wasn't offensive. There's nothing wrong with it, I don't think. I don't think I loved it as much as the previous arcs. I don't think I loved it as much as like Thriller Bark, Sabbaty Archipelago, things like that. I don't think I did. It wasn't a bad arc though. It genuinely wasn't a bad arc. And it was good. It was entertaining. I enjoyed my time reading it the entire way through. So how am I going to rate this? What will be interesting as well is that when I finish reading all of these and then go back to rereading, when I'm rereading these arcs, like, will they stay the same rating? See, now I just want to reread now. I want to see how all of the arcs will change once I've reread them all. So, yeah, the last two arcs I gave an 8. And I don't think I enjoyed it as much as those two. But again, I don't think it was actually bad. Like, I don't think it was, like, terrible. I would probably put it on the same level as Jaya. And I gave Jaya a 7. I think I might give Amazon Lily a 7. 7 out of 10. I feel like that's amazing. Yeah. I feel like that's right to me. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. Really enjoyed Boa Hancock as a character. I loved her growth and development. I loved Luffy being on his own, actually, and seeing like how his decision of choosing between the Straw Hats and Ace, his like, it's such a huge decision, you know? But it's a decision that's now going to change the course of this series, I think. I'm just so scared. I repeat myself now, but like, I'm genuinely terrified of what's coming. And I'm doing my absolute best to shield myself from the outside world while also diving into the One Piece community because I love you all so much and I love being part of this community. But I need to protect myself. I do. But please do still like leave all the comments down below. I would still love to read them. Just no spoilers, please. If you can possibly do that, that would be amazing. But yeah, I think that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below and I promise I will reply to them at some point. I'm just doing my absolute best to avoid spoilers. I'll give a huge thank you to my patrons and my One Piece community members for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon or my One Piece dedicated channel membership, then I have all the links down in the description box. You get early access to videos, exclusive member live shows and things like that, all to do with One Piece. But yeah, that's the end of the video and I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye!